Can you imagine a world without oil and
Life without oil looks very, very different.
Oil is used to make the vast majority of modern-day consumer products we use every day, and without oil, our standard of living would be immeasurably altered.
What would the world look like without oil? This question has never been more relevant as nations push toward a cleaner, greener future. As we edge closer to 2025, experts predict a pivotal shift in global energy consumption with renewable energy sources poised to outpace fossil fuels. Is this the beginning of a post-oil era? And what does it mean for our planet, economy, and daily lives? Join us as we deep dive into this potential tipping point for renewable energy. The global energy landscape. Oil has been the lifeblood of the global economy for over a century, powering industries, transportation, and even geopolitical strategies. But the environmental toll is undeniable. According to the International Energy Agency, IEA, the energy sector accounts for approximately 73% of global greenhouse gas emissions, with oil playing a significant role. However, recent trends indicate a seismic shift. In 2023, investments in renewables surpassed $1.7 trillion globally, exceeding fossil fuel investments for the first time in history. Solar and wind energy now accounts for over 12% of global electricity production, a figure expected to double by 2025. Countries like China, the US, and members of the European Union are leading the charge, setting ambitious goals to phase out fossil fuels entirely. The rise of renewables. Several factors are driving this transition. 1. Technological advancements. The cost of renewable energy has plummeted in recent years. Solar panel prices have dropped by over 85% since 2010, while wind energy costs have fallen by more than 55%. Innovations in battery storage like Tesla's Megapack and advances in hydrogen fuel cells are solving the intermittency problem of renewables. 2. Government policies and subsidies. Governments worldwide are implementing policies to accelerate the renewable shift. The U.S. Inflation Reduction Act has allocated over $369 billion for clean energy projects. Meanwhile, the EU's Green Deal aims to achieve climate neutrality by 2050 with significant milestones by 2025. 3. Corporate commitments. Major corporations like Amazon, Google, and Apple have pledged to go carbon neutral, driving demand for renewable energy. Google, for instance, aims to operate entirely on carbon-free energy by 2030. 4. Public demand. Growing awareness of climate change has sparked public demand for clean energy alternatives. According to a 2024 PEW research survey, 72% of people in developed nations support transitioning to renewables even at a higher upfront cost. The decline of oil. While renewables are rising, the oil industry faces mounting challenges. Economic pressures. The oil sector saw sharp declines during the COVID-19 pandemic, with prices even dipping into the negative at one point. Although the market has since recovered, long-term demand forecasts are grim. A report by BP predicts that global oil demand could peak as early as 2025. Divestment movements. Institutional investors are pulling out of fossil fuels. Over 1,500 organizations managing $40 trillion in assets have divested from coal, oil, and gas since the 2015 Paris Agreement. Geopolitical shifts. Oil-dependent economies like Saudi Arabia and Russia are diversifying to reduce reliance on oil revenue. Saudi's Vision 2030 aims to transform the nation into a renewable energy powerhouse. Challenges ahead. Despite the momentum, significant obstacles remain. Infrastructure and grid reliability. Transitioning to renewables requires overhauling existing energy infrastructure. Many nations lack the grid capacity to handle the intermittent energy sources like solar and wind. Political and industry pushback. Oil and gas lobbies remain powerful, influencing policies to delay the renewable transition. Developing nations. While wealthier countries can afford renewable investments, developing nations still rely heavily on fossil fuels due to cost and accessibility. Mineral dependencies. Renewables require rare earth minerals like lithium and cobalt, raising concerns about environmental degradation and geopolitical dependencies. A post-oil world. What would a world without oil look like? Economically, the shift could disrupt traditional power dynamics. Oil exporting nations may lose influence, while countries leading in renewables could emerge as new superpowers. Environmentally, reduced reliance on fossil fuels could help limit global warming to the 1.5 degrees Celsius target set by the Paris Agreement, averting catastrophic climate impacts. On a societal level, everyday life would transform. Electric vehicles would dominate the roads, homes would be powered by solar panels, and industries would rely on hydrogen and other sustainable fuels. This transition would create millions of green jobs while reducing air pollution and improving public health. The final tipping point? Is 2025 truly the tipping point? While it's unlikely that the world will entirely be free from oil by then, the trajectory is clear. The rapid adoption of renewables coupled with declining oil demand suggests that the days of fossil fuels are numbered. The question isn't if we'll transition to a post-oil world, but how quickly we can make it happen. Stay tuned to Truth Revealed as we continue to explore the trends and innovations shaping the future of energy.